Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Mr. Toots, and today we're going to do my very first tier list across any of my channels. I felt it was pretty apt to do a tier list on the new Halo Infinite weapons. So that's what we're going to do today. We're just going to do hopefully a quick tier list. If I ramble on about a certain weapon, I might try to put some footage in the background of just the like weapon drills against little bots to kind of show what I mean. Hopefully, I don't know, we'll see how this goes. Hopefully I don't upset too many people, and I'll probably say it at the end, but whatever my decision is, you know, leave your opinions in the comments below. Let me know what you would change, what your S tier weapons look like, what weapons you want to see back. Personally, my favorite gun that I want to see back would probably be the DMR, but I don't think that's gonna happen, so oh well. But yeah, other than that, if you enjoy the content, leave a like, follow, all that other, you know, normal stuff, and let's get into it. So I think I'm gonna start off with like the least controversial things that I can say. I'm not gonna go in like a particular order, but I do want to get out of the way. Battle rifle, S tier, so much fun. Energy sword, S tier. Those two, you can't not like them. Battle rifle, just a staple of Halo. It was definitely a good decision to keep it. Love it in SWAT. SWAT is my favorite game mode. I know that's kind of controversial to say, but SWAT is my all-time favorite game mode. BR and SWAT is the best. And in new Halo Infinite, it's pretty crisp. I really enjoy the battle rifle in Halo Infinite. Sword, fun as always. It's a little overpowered if you ask me. The sword lunge with the energy sword is massive. You can cover such a long distance with it, so I'm thinking maybe a nerf here soon, especially because the grapple shot sword tech is so viable that I don't really think we need such a large sword lunge, but that's just my opinion. Another one that I'm gonna put in S tier just because it's pretty plentiful in games, and it's actually really fun, is gonna be the Mangler. I was shitting on this weapon at the very beginning, but once I get to actually play around with it and get a little bit better at placing the shots, it's an absolute monster. I mean, overall, it's 3 shots to the body. 3 shots to the body, no matter what, is a guaranteed kill. Or 1 shot in a melee and they're done. That's insane. Probably gonna get nerfed if I was calling for a buff on it earlier. I kind of felt like maybe it was like a 2-shot weapon, but with how often you see it in games, like on live fire, A side can get it right off of spawn. I think maybe it'll need the small nerf. I don't know, especially with the blade on it for melee. Who knows? But I enjoy it for right now, for sure. Is it my go-to? No. But can I appreciate how well it does? Yes. Now I think to keep it easy, we'll just go in order from here. Those are my S tiers. They're gonna stay there. That's it for S tier. The rest we're just gonna put between A and D. I don't know why this tier list didn't have an F, but it's fine. We'll utilize it. All right, the assault rifle. The something for, I don't remember what the actual MA40, I don't know. Anyway, it's okay. It's okay. It's been in Halo since like the beginning, and I think it feels the same in every Halo. I'm gonna be honest, I have not mastered the amount of assault rifle shots to melee yet. I keep losing those. So maybe once I figure that out, I'll be a little bit more impressed with it. I think I'm just gonna put it at just like a solid B for right now. Let's see, Bulldog. Bulldog is fun, but like this is one of those weapons that I would have wished we just got the combat shotgun Back instead. It's one of those that they try to make something new, and I'm not super impressed with it. It's definitely a nice, if they have cracked shields, like if you can hit them with an energy weapon and a bulldog, definitely good. But it's very close range. It's 3 shots guaranteed if you can hit most pellets. So it's not terrible. I think overall, like if they don't buff damage or anything like that, if they could just buff rate of fire a little bit, I feel like it would be a little bit more viable. I'm gonna toss in C tier for right now. Cinder Shot, I'm gonna be honest, Cinder Shot took me a long time to actually figure out how frick to shoot it. I did not understand how people were doing so good with it. It's new, it's interesting. I don't particularly like it. It's still seems very inconsistent for the explosive type. Like I don't know, it doesn't feel like I can do consistent damage with it. I'm really literally just firing and hoping for the best. And I mean, I have gotten kills where they run around a corner and I've just shot it and sent it around the corner and fire a bunch. Like the rate of fire is nice, and I got him, but I don't know, it's not a gun that I really like. I'm putting it in C tier. All right, the VKS. Now, I'm gonna be honest. When I first started playing with this in the tech preview, I loved it. Granted, it's like seems like a cheap replacement for the DMR, but I loved it. I enjoyed it. It was really fun. It seemed solid in the tech preview, so I don't know what changed, or maybe feeling out some of the other weapons changed my overall opinion of it. But right now, it is. And this is not controversial to say, it's pretty hot garbage. There's no real good circumstance for it other than like there's not a BR on the map because it's replaced with the Commando, and that's all you have for a nice like long range, because to be consistent with it, you have to shoot it single shot like a DMR, or like a burst like a battle rifle. You can't, the full auto doesn't benefit you in any way, and I much rather have just had a DMR in place of the VKS. So for that, it's just gonna go in D tier. If they bring a buff later for maybe just not crazy recoil for full auto, maybe it'll go up, but for now it'll be there. Do I think it'll be a fun game, fun gun in the like campaign mode? Probably, but for multiplayer, it's just not good. Let's see, Disruptor. Disruptor's pretty good. The damage over time is insane. Like if you break someone's shields with this, I'm pretty sure if you use this to break someone's shields, I'm pretty sure they die to dot damage. Period. And there's no saving yourself from it. Yeah, shield recharge is delayed. You can string multiple together. Like, it's a pretty strong weapon against shields. Also, you can disable vehicles with it, so I think it is a nice replacement for the plasma pistol, which we'll get to later. I thoroughly enjoy it. I think it's either like a high B or a low A for me, and I couldn't explain why it'd be between these two, but we'll fill all A for right now. We'll adjust towards the end. Let's see. So the Heat Wave. The Heat Wave, a lot of people really like. I'm not super partial to it. It's relatively strong against vehicles because you can hit, if you hit all 5 against a vehicle, it does pretty decent damage. And if you hit all pellets against an enemy, especially when you're shooting it vertical instead of horizontal, it's a 2-shot kill. So like it's a strong weapon. It's hitting those 5 in a multiplayer match that are pretty difficult with people flying around, and it shoots kind of slow. And the banking is super inconsistent, so it's usually just luck, honestly, or if it's a tight corridor and you have it horizontal and you're just blasting into the corridor. So it's not like a super strong weapon in my opinion. I think I'm gonna put it at maybe just a low B for right now, because it's a strong weapon. Maybe it's just personal preference, I just don't like it. So maybe like low B, high C territory. Let's see, Hydra I thought was pretty cheaty in the beginning, but overall I don't like it. I think it's going to be a C tier weapon. It doesn't seem to do enough damage for being a grenade launcher against players. It just doesn't seem like it does enough, and it doesn't have a very wide blast radius. Now against like wasps, like the vehicles, it's pretty strong. Like that is where it shines, is against vehicles, but against players it's not that great, which is weird. It seems backwards in my opinion. This could definitely use a nerf, or not a nerf, it could use a buff to players to make it a little bit more viable as like a replacement for the old grenade launcher. I miss that grenade launcher. I think one of my other biggest gripes with it is that it could use a small delay on the tracking, so you can actually get it around things, unless that would make it a little too overpowered. I mean, either damage or the delay I think will help balance it out a little bit more, but we'll see. Needler I'm probably just gonna put in E tier. It's another staple of the Halo series. Doesn't seem super impactful in this one, which it's hard to explain. Like, it does the same thing. You hold it down, you empty pretty like 80% of the you can't really call it a clip or magazine, but 80% of the loaded ammunition into somebody, it explodes, it kills them, if you can land all of those. Like, the tracking is definitely off. The whole point is if you break, visual, the tracking goes away and stuff like that. So I don't know, it just feels like something's off when using it. I used to use it a lot in like Halo Reach and 3. Just feels off for some reason. And I've seen a couple videos of like, because this one looks more like the special Needler you can get in custom matches. I saw that one, it has like pinpoint accuracy, and I think that's too much. I think if we found some type of middle ground, it'd be a little bit better. I also seem to remember that the needles would explode with a lot less needed to be sunk into someone. So I don't know, that could just be me. Again, these are just my opinions. Please don't flame me in the comments, but yeah, let me know where you think these guns should lie. Plasma rifle. This thing really is just like an energy battle rifle, but it shoots, the projectiles are super slow, and the tracking kind of sucks. Like, the tracking is pretty inconsistent in my opinion, and it makes it really hard to like aim when a gun, like when you're trying to rely on the, not aim assist, but the tracking of the bullets, I guess you can't really call them bullets, but tracking of the projectiles. If you're relying on that and the enemy's running around, it's hard to change up relying on that and actually aiming. It's weird. I don't know. I personally don't like using it. Like, when I got the challenge for completing kills with it, it's a heavy groan. I mean, it's only 3 bursts, but then again, I believe the battle rifle is only 3 bursts. I'd much rather just use a battle rifle. So I think for now we'll just toss it in C, probably D. I don't know. Plasma D. I hate it. And there's been some discussion about it, but the really only real reason that people used to use the plasma pistol, main one, EMP for vehicles. That's like the main reason to have it. The other one was the noob combo with that and assault rifle. Take their shields out with that, come with the assault rifle, but you don't see too much of them in the map, and there's much better weapons that you'd rather run around with than a plasma pistol, so it's just not needed anymore. And I think if they just hard replaced the plasma pistol with the disruptor, I think everyone would be better off, because it has EMP, takes away shields, does damage over times. If you can crack shields and then finish them off with something easy, literally either assault rifle, BR, or even like a sidekick, I think if we just hard replaced it with the disruptor, we'd be better off. But it's kind of like one of those staple weapons that kind of has to be there, I guess. Like someone said, like, what else are the grunts in the campaign gonna use? So it kind of has to be there. But maybe they could have just kept it to the campaign. Ravager, also just gonna, not controversial, gonna go in the D tier. I just don't like it. I think it needs some buff. It could be a good weapon. It's something new for sure. But like the only viable option is to charge it up, hit the ground, which will put flame, and if the enemy's dumb and stands in it, you'll get that like kind of one-shot kill per se. The knife on it makes it melee pretty easy if you want to run through your flames, but like if you don't do the full charge shot, it's pretty butts. It's useless. It takes so many shots to kill, slow projectile. It's like a lob trajectory, so you have to aim weird. Like the charge shot portion, great. The melee portion, great. The regular shots, terrible. And I think if that changed, it would bring it up quite a bit. Sniper rifle, staple Halo weapon, super fun. I definitely have gotten a little bit more practice against bots with it. Trying to get a little bit better. I've always had a kind of a problem with just the circle sniper rifle reticle. It's so small, but I guess overall it makes sense. I mean, great weapon, like you can't go wrong. I don't think it's an S tier per se, but it's definitely there. It's good. Yeah. Sentinel beam, also one of those that I just don't like. It's a gun that's usually passed up in every match. Maybe if it was a little bit longer range, it could be something that's a little bit useful, or if it did more damage against vehicles, maybe. But overall, like trying to keep a beam on someone is just awkward. It's not like hard, it's just awkward, and I don't like it. And the recharging is a little weird. It's not overheating, it actually has like ammunition. It's just a weird gun overall. Skewer, I'm gonna be honest, Skewer is really fun. I probably would have tossed it on S tier if it wasn't for the fact that I believe it's overpowered for vehicles. And I only say that in that this is the one thing you want to use against vehicles. Sniper rifle takes a decent amount of shots. Rocket launcher for some reason doesn't feel super strong against vehicles, but this thing one shots like most vehicles, if not two shots them. Against players, it's actually super fun. This is another one of those that I was butts with in like the flight and was dogging on it, but after like getting used to using it and stuff like that, it is so much fun. The reload time takes a long time, but I think that's the only thing that balances this out. Especially just being a one hit to anywhere on an enemy. So super fun gun. We'll put it in A. I'd like to see some changes to it. Not really sure in what way. Maybe like explosive damage against vehicles. To do just a little bit more damage against other vehicles, like for 2-shot. But I also think that sniper rifle and rocket launcher should also do more damage against vehicles. But I don't know. That one's also a tough one because it doesn't seem like vehicles last very long as it is. So that's a topic for a different time. The sidekick is definitely a poor replacement for the Magnum, if I'm being honest. Because the draw was always you'd have your fast firing assault rifle, and then you'd have your accurate handgun with the Magnum. And it's not like it takes very many shots with the sidekick once shields are broken with, you know, an AR or an energy weapon or anything like that. And it's definitely fun to use. It's just another one that I would have rather had the Magnum, but it's not terrible, so we'll put it in B. The rocket launcher, my biggest gripe with the rocket launcher is I feel like it doesn't do very much damage to vehicles. Like, I've hit stuff straight on, like ghosts and stuff like that, and takes multiple shots, which I always remember it being a lot stronger than that. Especially because everyone fights for rockets. Like, don't get me wrong, against people it absolutely demolishes, but against vehicles it doesn't feel very strong. So definitely could use a little bit of tweaking. But I mean, overall, like, it's rockets, like it has to go in A tier. All right, nearing the end here. Shock rifle. Shock rifle is I enjoy it as a snipe, like an energy sniper rifle, but my only gripe with it is, like, sniper rifle, for example, 1-hit headshot, 2 hits to the body. If you hit body, unfortunately you have to do 3 shots, but it does take away shields and stuff like that, so you have an opportunity to just quick swap to, you know, assault rifle, VR, or sidekick to finish them off. So it's not terrible. I definitely enjoy using it. Probably gonna go somewhere between A and B. I think we're gonna toss it in B for right now, because it's not crazy, but most maps, it's not a power weapon, and it can still do a 1-hit KO with a headshot. So I think it's still a really good weapon. It's kind of like a weird sniper rifle. I don't know if that made sense, but we're gonna go with it. Stalker, I think, what is it called? The Stalker rifle, I believe. I actually really enjoy it. It's basically our DMR, and it's gonna be weird to say and probably gonna upset some people, but I believe that the Stalker rifle is the DMR that we're gonna get, just in energy form. It's a single shot, takes 3 shots, I believe. I don't know about body shots, but it's definitely 3 shots if you hit 2 to the shields and 1 to the head. Feels good to use overall. I really enjoy it, actually. It feels impactful when you use it. So overall, I really enjoy it. I think it's an A tier weapon. And then we come down to the gravity hammer, and I want to say in this one a lot of people just were putting gravity hammer in S tier, and yes, it's strong as it always is, but right now, and there's plenty of evidence out there, it's inconsistent for some reason. Damage is just all over the place. Like, 2 people can be next to each other and you only kill one of them with 1 hit. If they're slightly off to the side of you, it doesn't 1 hit, which, like, if they were trying to nerf it, sure, but like, when energy sword and gravity hammer are compared side by side in Halo Infinite, the sword is so much stronger, versus in, like, games like Reach. I used to play Griffball all the time, and in that game mode, gravity hammer dominated, but sword was still a viable option. It wasn't just dominated by one or the other. I mean, let's be honest, almost everyone used gravity hammer, but the point is that they were more equally matched, and I don't know if they were trying to do that, but overall, the slowness of the gravity hammer is what makes up for the ability to take out multiple people, and that's where it should stay, not in decreasing damage or getting rid of damage to the side and stuff like that. So for that, as of right now, I think I'm just gonna toss it in C. Yeah, that feels good. I mean, that's pretty much it. I was gonna see, like, we can move it around here to more match up, like, from start to finish. And what I mean by that is to put in order like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. To more match up to exactly how I feel about each weapon, which is kind of hard to do, honestly. I think we'll move these around just a little bit. I'm gonna be honest, I really like the skewer. It's really fun, especially to get kills with it, and I'm almost always not zoomed in with it. It's almost easier to get hip fire shots with the skewer, if I'm being honest. I don't know if anyone else shares that sentiment, but definitely enjoy it. Never really been a huge fan of the assault rifle, so we moved it down a little bit. I like the shock rifle. Do that. Do that. This is tough. What's like the garbage of the garbage? I mean, I never used the plasma pistol. I never used to before, but now it's just the worst. Like, I literally remember in the flight picking up a plasma pistol, trying to use it against an enemy warthog, and when it didn't EMP it, I haven't picked up a plasma pistol since in multiplayer. Just garbage. I feel like this is pretty accurate. We're gonna save it. Again, let me know in the comments if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. I know this isn't gonna sit right with everyone, and I probably said something either, I don't know, incorrect, off, controversial, whatever. Let me know. I definitely want to revisit this whenever we get any major patches that list nerfs and buffs, or as they add weapons, because I'm definitely hoping that they add some more to the multiplayer. I don't know, this is a pretty wide range of weapons, so if you ask me, they're probably not gonna add any more. If I was to see one weapon added that I believe is not really covered, which is what 343 is saying, is that they don't want two weapons to serve the exact same purpose. I missed the SMG, because like we have the stalker rifle to kind of make up for the lack of the DMR. That, I mean the battle rifle, but nothing in here really hits like the SMG. You get kind of close with the rate of fire for the sidekick, or the close quarters of the bulldog, but something about the SMG was just so much fun to use, especially when you could dual wield. Hashtag bring dual wielding back. Hopefully it'll be in the campaign. I think that'd be really fun, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, I think that's where we're gonna end it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Keep an eye out. I will probably have a vehicle tier list coming out soon, because I think there's enough vehicles to also make a tier list. And yeah, for the sake of not rambling on, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.